Okay, so last time the party was aboard the airship commandeered by Flickerwisp. You guys were interested in this box that someone had come down to investigate, look after something. Determined it to be a member of the serving, sort of galley serving crew. He turned out to be a part of a strange organization of gnomish history where they believe that the gnomes are destined to be the rulers of all of the continent, called the Dormant Root, or at least translated to the Dormant Root. You determined that he was connected based on a symbol on his backpack that tied back to the crate symbol that you saw. And in trying to find him and apprehend him, you found him in the cargo hold of the ship. He said that he has seen the city with his own eyes now and has proof. The dormant root shall grow. The season of rebirth has come. And then he had a cryptic message that unfortunately for everybody aboard the vessel, the clock shall strike soon, and there can be none who know what is to come. He attempted to cast something, but Finri ran up to him as soon as he began, nullifying any kind of verbal components, and essentially struck him down with poison and a sneak attack that he avoided the poison damage, but he was taken down pretty seriously in terms of health. He is not unconscious, but he is kind of prone on one knee at this moment. And that is where we left it. So, he was attempting to cast something. The party, for positioning, Finri is directly next to him. Lanray and Max, you are at the top of the cargo hold stairs still. And Medolfir, you are currently in the scene that you mentioned from, what was that, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Just in a peaceful bliss of ignorance about what's happening down below. So, Finri, Max, what are you doing in this moment? There's just a bubble of silence around Finri and the perpetrator.
He's not unconscious, right?
He's not unconscious. He is conscious. He's like trying to figure out why the sound has dissipated around him, and now he realizes he sees Finri, but he hasn't taken any action. And this is open for either of you, Finri or Max, if there's something you want to do.
Oh, I mean, I would like to continue killing him, but I will mouth, no one can hear you scream and smile. Because that's what Jackie would do.
Okay. Max, are you doing anything to stop that in any way?
To stop him from killing this guy?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Well, no. I'm asking now.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any reason to want him to not die?
No, he did. He did just kill 2 ensigns with an ice blast. He tried to kill you all, for all you know. Okay. No, there's no reason that he's not a good person. Clearly.
Yeah, he hit Max with that ice blast.
Yep.
Did he?
Yeah, you're down.
Oh shit! I'm down 33. Jesus.
Yep.
All right. Well, in that case, what should I do?
I mean, if I make this a regular thing, I'll need to get some signage that says no one can hear you scream, so I can just like point at a name tag while we're in this game.
Yeah. How far away from me is this guy?
Diabolical.
He is about 20 feet, 15, 20 feet, if you take a little bit of the vertical drop in the stairs. Close.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I don't have line of sight on him?
You have implied line of sight. You know where he is, but your eyes don't see him.
Now, could I easily duck into the thing and get line of sight on him?
If you drop to your belly, you would see him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I gotta go prone.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go prone and cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. I will say, since Finry was taking the last action, it will be okay for you to do this before Finry does anything. In this first, you're only going to get one round of it. You get the presence or absence of thoughts.
Why do I want? Oh, because he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Unless you signal him not to for a moment.
No. Can I not do that?
Yeah, you can pull it back.
Okay.
You just going to give him a Chuck Norris thumbs up?
No. I mean, yeah, that'll be my somatic. No, that's all I'm doing. Thumbs up.
Okay, thumbs up it is. Finnery, if you wish to go ahead and finish him off, you have a full round to do so.
You know, one of the things Finry doesn't have is ways to not kill people. Mm-hmm. And so part of me is like, man, I should not kill this guy. But that is not the main part of me.
He did say that the time is ticking down for you all aboard the ship, just as an input.
How bad does this dude look?
He looks like if you were to strike him again, he'll probably die. Like, die.
Can I, like, blunt weapon with my fists to this dude? Like, can I... Like,
you want to just kind of knock him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do an unarmed. So go ahead and just give me your weapon attack. It'll be unarmed. It'll be, a non-lethal damage.
I'll just do like a two-handed full attack, but maybe
sure.
Is a button?
Just with like the butt of your weapon. No, it's not a button. I'll treat it as, it doesn't change the damage. It just changes it to non-lethal.
Yeah, there's, you're going to have to remove the bonuses for the thing.
Sure. I'll just take the raw actual blunt damage. Okay. Yep. A wild variance in the rolls here. The 23 does strike for 3 points of, and that is all. Yeah, that's all. So non-lethal, and then the other two attacks do not strike. The other three attacks don't strike, strangely enough. So you really only get one, but with that one, boom, you hit him over the top of his head. He was pretty much about to go unconscious anyways, and with that, he is put into an unconscious state. He is not dying. He is specifically knocked out at this point.
Yeah, like I want to just literally take the butt of the kukri and like pop him in the head like you would a small child. Right?
Okay. Yeah. You hit him right on the temple, and I mean, you shouldn't hit children with swords on the top of their heads, but yes.
I was wondering if anybody was going to catch that.
Yeah, cool GM doesn't condone that. Depends on the kid, I guess.
Yeah, my wife just came in here and said she caught that as well. So. This gnome falls to the ground, seemingly unconscious. His backpack also falls next to him. What are you guys doing in this moment? I let go of the silence and I start rooting around the backpack. And then do I see any, like, I want to look at the backpack first, take off all of his stuff that could potentially be of danger, like wands and crap. Mm-hmm. And then tell everybody they can come down and look at the rat I found in the hole.
Okay. What you find on him? The first thing that you notice that he does not have a spell book like Max does. He does not have one of those. You do find that little bits of like components and elements that you've seen Max also carry around at times. You assume that are part of his spell casting. You find a couple of rations that he has stolen from the ship itself. Actually more than a couple. He's got 4 rations in there. So what he was planning to do with that, unclear. You see his map that he had, that Madolfir saw previously. And you see a unusual, almost like the blade of a knife, a shard that is extremely sharp on one edge, as if it had been like fractured. You know how when you chip a stone in a particular angle, you can create like a knife blade out of it that is extremely sharp at the edge. But this is made out of almost like the same material as withstone, crystalline, except this particular one is sheened, and you can see this kind of white moving sheen within it, like an opalescence that moves within the stone. And again, it's like the size of a normal sort of kitchen knife blade.
Okay. Do I find the backpack that he had at his area that was no longer there?
Yeah, that's the backpack that was containing all of these things.
Okay, and then the thing that he was using, he had something in his hand that he was using to teleport. Do I know what that is?
No, he didn't have anything in his hand. What you saw was like some components that fell out of his hand, but he didn't have like an object that was being used for that now.
So I give all this stuff to Max, and I explain like the stuff he had in his hand, because he's knows about spellcraft. I will tell him, he had a rat tail and 2 whiskers in his hand, and he was saying something fancy. Maybe he knows what the spell is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max, you find the thing that gets handed to you is like a very small piece of quartz. That was in his hand, that he was using for some kind of material component, it appears. You're handing the other sort of knife blade shard also to Max? Finner?
Yeah, there's nothing in there for me. Like I'm just giving him because this is all, as far as I know, he somehow sabotaged the shit and we're gonna crash. So I need to get everything to Max and then tell Flicker so that we don't all crash, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Max, yeah, I mean, what he hands over does appear to be like material components for spells, like a components pouch essentially, and that what I described before in terms of that strange crystalline blade. If you're talking, you might be muted, Max.
So, yeah, I was just thinking. I mean, I did the spellcraft check. Do I know what?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. This is not like an active spell of any kind. Let me see.
No, I'm just going off of the material components. And the fact that he said something specific before the silence started?
Yes. What you recognize from what he was trying to cast, I will say, before the silence overtook him, because it was instantaneous, you believe he was attempting to cast teleport, because his hands weren't moving at all. Now, it appears he was holding something in his hands as a component, but it might not have been related to that. But he was definitely trying to cast the teleport spell, which implies that he was able to cast 5th level spells. Yeah. You are sure that he was verbally doing the parts to teleport.
Okay. And have people already started searching the ship for a bomb or something?
Not yet.
Okay. So I don't have another locate object, so prepped. So I don't know how I'm gonna help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manopher, what have you been doing over in the galley this whole time? I mean, you've heard now at this point that there was an alarm to arms from the crow's nest.
Well, I thought I was like in the engine room kind of place.
You're right, but you would still have heard that sort of audible alarm that happens from the crow's nest.
I mean, without knowing what's happening, my task was to make sure that this room was okay. So I'm gonna poke my head out.
Yeah.
See if I can hear anything, see what's going on with the, any crew or whatever. Kind of, if anyone comes within earshot, be like, just yell out, "What's going on?"
Okay. Yeah. You stare down the hallway and you notice a lot of people running towards the deck. And you yell out and somebody just says something in Gnomish back to you that you don't understand.
Like a bad tourist that doesn't know the language would be like, well, they could have just spoke Orcish or even Common. Jeez. But I'm also gonna do let's say a listen check just to see if I can
hear what's going on.
Anything
Sure.
else? Yeah.
Yeah. You know that nobody else has come into this room in the interim. Okay. With that listen check, you hear the commotion happening outside, the alarm going off. You did hear Finry yell out when he was, talking about the ice blast that occurred. So you heard all of that. You know that there's some sort of danger out there. Beyond that, it sort of became a lull moments later. But there are still, commotion of crew members running outside. So with that, yeah.
Jim, has somebody tied up this bad guy?
Not yet. Who wants to do it?
I will do it.
Okay. Yep. Landry's like, I can help too.
I stand around and I point at the fingers and I'm like, this one, he can still move too much. And then I yell up through the hatch, someone get a gag.
Okay. It's a good thing Landry helped you with that. You guys tie a decent knot. Now, I will say he's unconscious, so you have the ability to, I would say if you want, you could go ahead and just take 10 on this. Not 20, but 10. Since there's no sort of time basis for why you would have to quickly do it. So you do tie him up. With Max's help, you focus largely on his hands, the most dangerous part of a sorcerer. Is there anything else you're doing to him?
Once he's gagged and tied up and I'm quite sure that he's not going to be able to do anything if he became conscious again, I'm going to look around and ask, should I heal him up?
Landry kind of goes, maybe we should search the ship before we purposely bring him back to being awake. Or do you think we should do it and try to get it out of him?
Both. We got lots of people still alive, right?
Okay. Noted, Finry, on how you're putting the rope through. Okay. Landry kind of goes, okay, I'll go search with the crew. You guys try to get information from him. So I'm going to give a search check for Landry while you guys figure out what you're doing.
I am like, Max, let's take him to the chicken coop so that we can ask him some very important questions.
Okay. Max, are you carrying him or are you getting one of the crew members to carry him?
I'm gonna get one of the crew to carry him, and then the
Okay.
whole time I'm gonna say like, and this is why you suspect people who are terrible cooks but work in a galley. And then I'm gonna be like, I knew it. I knew he had a collaborator. What kind of deviant things was this guy into? I'm gonna really amp up so they should be paranoid for like other people.
Gotcha. Agent Fidry.
Agent
Okay.
47, right?
Yep.
Once we're at a place where I think we can like get,
Do you want to take him to Flicker Wisp's room, or whose room are you guys taking him to?
No, you didn't have a proper jail. They had like a chicken coop situation where they had put me in. That's
Okay.
There's no brig, but there's a chicken coop. I figured we'd go there and tie him to a wall or something, and then we could like wake him up.
The crew member carries him. There's actually multiple needed since they're all gnomes. Even though this is a gnome, gnomes aren't very powerful personage. So a couple of them sort of put them like a rug over their shoulders and take him down the stairs and place him into that room. You want him inside the cage or just tied to the cage?
I mean, I don't quite know the situation. I definitely want him tied up to like the wall so he can't go anywhere. And then I was going to tell Max, I was like, if you still had that detect thought spell, once we wake him up, I can start persuading him, and then you can continue to detect thoughts. Or we can try that after he's awake.
Madolfir, you do see a body being carried. From your angle, you cannot tell whose body that is. It's just a gnome.
I'm just a gnome.
Do I see who's being carried by?
2 crew members that you don't know the names of.
And this is from the end of the hallway that goes into the engine room?
Yes, that's on the 2nd floor. You lose sight of the body pretty quickly as it gets carried down to the lower area where the quarters and that other hallway that Max found Finry.
I'm gonna holler out Finry, and I'm gonna holler out Finry, Max.
We would tell Modalfear, and we would get him to come too. We would bring them.
Yeah. But I wanted to remember this. Why was Modalfear in the engine room?
There was a fear that the engine room was susceptible to sabotage. Mm-hmm. And so when the previous guard had to bed down, Modolfear volunteered to stay in that room while the bosun slept.
Okay. Hey, can I yell out, "Hey, Modolfear, look for a bomb in there"?
Modolfear, you hear that?
I beg your finest pardon?
You heard the words.
You also noticed Lanray just like shuffling between various rooms, like searching around like crazy, also with a couple of crew members.
I'll be like, what? Like the round ones, like we threw at the big monster?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need to tell Flicker and the bosun and like whoever the other lieutenant was, and say, listen, you need to. There's a potential that he sabotaged the ship in some way or planted like I don't know what you call a bomb in a magical world, a boom thing. But you all should all look and search the ship in particular. I think you need to check the engines, the sails. This guy was not anyone's friend. He wanted to take us all down. So that's the crew should be helping, and like the people that actually know how the ship works should be helping is the goal.
Okay. Noted. Yep.
Search the engine room.
Okay. With that search check and land raise, I will say that you guys, in this moment with the urgency of the matter, you do not find anything that is resembling a physical bomb of any kind. There are a lot of things you don't understand in this room, Modolfear. The bosun has awakened at this point since it's an emergency. But in this kind of like 2 minutes of searching around as quickly as you can, you do not find anything.
Is the bosun back in the room now?
If it's
he's with
if it's
Flicker
2
Wisp.
minutes, if it's 2 minutes, you could have taken a 20, I think.
I think the search skill kind of leaves the time frame of what is like enough time up to the GM to define. But let me double check.
Yeah, but usually if it's enough time to be able to do the thing 20 times.
Yeah. Well, you're not able to in 2 minutes. You're not able to search the entirety of the.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was like one square,
yeah.
If the bosun is back in the engine room, I'm gonna tell him, I don't know what this stuff is. Look around and see if there's anything that's in here that shouldn't be in here. That would normally not be in here.
He kind of like rubs the sleep out of his eyes. Flicker Wisp is now behind him. And he's like, he keeps trying to interrupt Lanray and you searching around. He's like, okay, stop for a second. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. The ship is careening wildly out of vector for some reason. Midolfir, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. Was here the whole time. I didn't touch anything, I promise.
Hey, GM, just real quick, I would have shown them the knife thing. So if that was broken off part of the ship, I think Flicker isn't. I just want to make sure they had a chance to look at it in case, that it's like part of the rudder or something on it.
Okay. Flicker Wisp kind of holds his hand out. Are you guys handing the strange shard to him?
Just showing it to him, I think.
Just showing it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you guys, Max, I thought you're smarter than this. That is clearly not the same thing as that. And he points over to the engine that is like a different color than the shard. And then he goes over and he like touches all around that shard that's in between these various like apparatus holding it in the center. And he's like, see, no pieces missing, Max. The others, I understand why they don't understand how any of this works. But Max, I had greater hopes for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Don't make me cast the fireball.
Okay. He's
I still have it prepped right in here, and I do the little meme of hitting my forehead with my index finger.
He kind of winks, and then he like pulls from his back pocket his fireball wand. He goes, "Blaze of glory." Yeah, he's like, it's careening wildly out of control. It's staying levitated, but nothing he does to adjust anything seems to be adjusting anything about the ship.
I think me and Finray are continuing to like proceed with the interrogation, right?
Well,
okay.
Yeah. Well, then I'm like to the bosun and to Flicker Wisp, and be like, well, one of you knows how to fly this ship, right? So one of you should be able to figure out why it is not flying properly.
Yeah, the bosun immediately starts diagnosing with Flicker Wisp what could be causing that out of control. He's like, we've been focused on the engine room, but that's not what controls the ship. The sails control the ship. Has anybody gone and seen? Okay, and the bosun like grabs Flicker Wisp, and yourself, and you guys run out the room through the galley up to the deck. So while that's happening, Henry and Max and Lanray. Actually, you know what? Lanray will go with Midolfir also.
Yeah. The searching is more important, I think. Max has 3 minor wounds prepped. Cure minor wounds. I'm gonna one by one use them until this guy is like groggily awakening.
Okay.
Just how many does it take?
Listen, I tell Max, don't worry about that. I just grab some salt and I rub it into his wounds, which is painful. that doesn't actually cause harm. Just increases the pain. Just to wait.
I don't think he'll wake up though, but all right.
Yeah, Grandma said when people are knocked out, you have to use salt to wake them up.
Oh, okay. That makes it true.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something. Hold on. Each time he puts a little bit of salt on him, I'm gonna say. Okay, let me roll a D.
I mean, if he passes out like he's gonna die, you can always use your cure minor wounds. But
I mean, he's already passed out.
He's passed out. Yeah.
Well, no, like he's not dying.
He's not dying. That's important. He's not dropping health right now.
Here's what I'm saying though. His So game mechanic wise, you hit him for 3, and that caused the subtraction of non-lethal from his actual HP to get to 0, which caused him to become unconscious.
Yep.
So his actual HP was either 3 or less beforehand.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if we do further damage, he might actually start dying. I don't know.
Yep.
But it won't cause him to wake up, I don't think. I don't know. I really don't know.
As you rub the salt on his wound, he is still unconscious. He doesn't seem to be reacting to that, Finry. You knocked him out pretty good. His breath is kind of shallow. So Max, are you actually casting a spell?
Yeah, I'll do Cure Minor Wounds. Give him 1 HP.
Okay.
Does he start to move at all? Or
not with just 1? No.
All right, I'll do it again.
So I mean, mechanically, if you're knocked out and you get Cure Minor cast on you, does it just subtract from the non-lethal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Non-lethal gets healed first.
Yep. Until it's just lethal damage left on you. The second one, you notice some cognizance in his eyes. I mean, his eyeballs closed right now with his eyelids, but you see a little bit of movement behind the eyelid. Are you giving him another one?
He still has salt in his wounds. So I figure if he is close to numbers aside, right? So if you're unconscious, if you can be brought back to being conscious, and I think either pain or smelling salts will help you do that, right? It's not
I would say if somebody is knocked out but not the mechanical unconscious, that would be correct. But right now he is concussed state, and that will not affect that unless he is brought back to above his sort of threshold that's needed. So Max, there is a little bit of movement. I would say that's obvious without any kind of skill check. Is there anything you want to do when you notice his eyes just slightly behind his eyelids move?
I mean, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
That lasts a while, right?
I think it's minutes, maybe even 10 minutes per level. Let me check. Oh, you deleted it.
It's up to 1 minute per level.
Okay, so it'll be 9 minutes for you.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to start it up.
Okay. Finry, are you doing anything in this moment?
I'm trying to wake this dude up.
Okay, yeah. When you put the salt in his stab wound that you got him with the kukri before, he rouses awake. It is obvious to you as his eyeballs move. As soon as you touch him with that sort of painful salt, he twitches pretty abruptly. And you start hearing.
So I grab his head. I go right next to his ear, and I say, "Good morning, sunshine."
You can tell he's trying to chew. He's moving his teeth a lot.
I move the kukri so that it is resting on his chest. And
Okay.
I'll say, "I will remove this gag if you promise to behave. If you don't, I will just slice you one bit at a time, and then you can just bleed out in this hold."
He calms down. Max, your detect thoughts in that first round has just passed. Obviously, you've noticed that he does have thoughts. I would say the second round also in this moment has passed. So you know how many people are in this room with a brain, obviously. The third round hasn't occurred yet. Lanray and Medolfir, you guys reach the deck with Flickerwisp. And you now see that one of the sails has a very visible unanchoring that has occurred. Essentially, the grommet and pulley system has come off of that sail, and it is wildly flapping. So essentially, this is sort of forcing the ship to list as opposed to moving in the direction intended.
Okay, is the bottom of the thing flapping enough to where I could grab at it? I mean, how is it? Is it loose fabric at the bottom of it, or is there like a
no, there's
that keeps it spread open?
Yeah, I mean, not without getting too into the nitty gritty of the boat mechanics. There is a boom essentially at the bottom of it that the gnomes generally sort of take control of if it ever gets out of control. However, that boom portion is still connected perfectly fine. It is really the actual mast, pulley and grommet that has come loose. And so the top of this sail, which is up 35 feet above your head, is just kind of flapped over upon itself. And as you look at the face of the bosun, he's like, I can't get that reconnected safely while we're actually flying the ship. It's way too much force and weight for anyone to do while we're actually flying. I would need to be able to... Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, finish.
He's basically just saying, usually I would have a scaffold and everything to connect up the parts.
So is the entirety of the boom, is it strapped to the mast by a guide line?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that somehow ties back to the steering for the ship itself down below and back into the galley.
Now, is that guideline completely free of the pulley system, or is it just kind of hanging there loose?
It's kind of just loose. The pulley has kind of been detached somehow and is hanging and swinging back and forth, where otherwise it would need to be pinned in place to function properly up at the top of the mast.
So I guess my question is the guideline for the top, the actual rope guideline that goes up the mast through the pulley system and to the boom at the top. Is it still is it still attached in a manner in which if someone were to climb up there, they could grab it, or is it fine?
It's in a way where if you climbed up the mast and were able to somehow hold and contort your body to reach out and grab it, maybe with a hook or something, you could pull it back and try, but the tension that would be involved would be extremely dangerous. It could snap and, cut a person if it actually got taut at the wrong moment. It's you see this rope and at times it's slacked and the pulley is loose, and then suddenly there'll be a sudden jerk of the sail, just like when you guys were trying to control the magical sails, and it will completely tauten up and slam against the mast with hundreds of pounds of force.
So have they put our magic sails? Sorry, have they put our magic sails on yet?
You do notice on the ground, Max had set up to rig those systems with a series of additional anchors and things like that he had engineered out to use for this purpose.
To the point to where they're ready to be used.
I mean, yes, if somebody were to actually start setting up the sail, but
there's a whole ship full of sailors whose job it is to sail and run the boat and deal with the sails
Yeah.
None of them notice this happen, and none of them knows what to do in this case. Like I feel
The
like
bosun.
people that go sailing know what to do when things like this happen. It's like
Listen, they are gnomes, okay?
The
No
bosun-
offense, but they're gnomes.
The bosun like is interrogating the deck crew themselves, and like in this sudden moment where this is shocking and new, and in the immediacy, there's a gathering that's happening with the bosun. Let me roll. Okay, you rolled quite good. He like looks back at Medolfir and Landray, and he goes, "The crew says nobody touched that. It became detached suddenly." And he points up to the mast, and you see a little metal rod that is, there's no other way to describe it, but just disintegrating like a fuse slowly back to the mast. And you're a little confused as to what's happening, but whatever's happening is still active. And it's like disintegrating back towards the mast itself. And you notice the other pulley that connects to the other sail is also pinned to this thing, so that if it continues to disintegrate, that sail will also stop functioning. So all these gnomes are like scrambling like crazy, like they don't know what's going on. It's disappearing, and none of them have the strength or sort of agility to really resolve it.
Okay, real quick, is it something that could be like have an arrow fired at it to like, you know, kind of like fire an arrow at the burning fuse to separate it from the rest of the fuse?
I mean, it's not that it's a fuse necessarily. Like you're not seeing an actual it's just disappearing like a fuse would. Like it's just disintegrating back towards the mast.
Like the rod though itself is not part of the pulley system, right?
No, that seems to be whatever was anchoring that initial pulley that came loose is like disappearing before your eyes. Okay, with that,
I'm going to start climbing the mast.
Okay, yeah, give me a climb check. Back to Finry and Max as you start climbing, and Landry's like, I probably should have been the one that climbs. Actually, you're pretty good at climbing too, though.
I got a plus 12, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, climbing is strength, so.
As you say that, you roll a 1. You do enough, though. I mean, it's not the mast is intended for climbing. There's rungs on it, so like it's really more about how quickly you are amounting it. You're climbing it at a quarter of your normal speed. I would have given you faster since there are these rungs on it if you had gotten a better roll.
Okay. Here's a quick question. So the rod that's disappearing, it's kind of like a pinion, right?
Yes, exactly.
And it goes through the center of, like, say, a grommet, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
No, it's connected to the mast itself. Okay. The mast would have had like that pinion would have held in place with some sort of anchorage on the backside of the pulley. I love this, by the way. I need a diagram of this. Backside of the pulley, and then the rope itself was spun around that pulley and held taut to the grommet that's on the sail. So the grommet is only on the sail portion and has come loose because the whole pulley system has come loose.
Right. My question though, if someone were to very what's the word I'm looking for? Very precisely shoot an arrow in place to basically take the place of the pinion. Would that be enough to at least keep it there doing what it needs to do?
You'd have to, in order to resolve the pinion part of it, not the grommet part, you'd have to grab the pulley, put it back on, and then find a way to sort of anchor it back in.
Okay. So no, that's what I'm saying. To anchor it back in, would a well-placed arrow do that? Or would that not be enough strength?
It might not be enough strength. We're talking about hundreds of pounds of tension.
Yeah, but like again, like it doesn't have to be a permanent solution, right?
Yeah.
Does it
for
get
a
the
moment,
thing
it might be
flapping around? Yeah.
Yeah, for a moment it could be.
So I'm gonna yell back to Landry. Landry, you better get set to fire an arrow up here.
Okay.
Is Flicker out there?
Flicker is out there with them. Yeah.
So does
he's like
Flicker
trying to think through
like repair light damage?
That's a great
There's like
question.
literally
There's
100
mend.
ways for like.
There is mend. It's a high level spell.
He also uses spell helpers.
Yeah, like
So-
he has 100 ways to fix constructs. He
Okay.
has like constructs that build things. I feel like Flicker would find this a trivial problem. Like he builds entire things with his constructs, and plus, like I'm pretty sure there's like the construct. If he's from Eberron, there's the construct version of Cure Light Wounds. That I can't remember the name of the spell. I thought it was like repair light damage. All
Yeah,
of
but the
which,
ship is not a construct is the issue.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
but he
yeah,
he
but you
does
can
always
fix a
cast
door
those.
with that, right? You could
He always casted those helpers, right? The magical helper things that he always had.
Yeah, he has the unseen helpers. He
Yeah.
also has, what you were looking for is repair serious damage. That's the construct thing. But that doesn't affect this because it's not a construct. However, he does have something. He's like, like while Midolfir's freaking out and like physically trying to do it, and Landry's like aiming his bow, he's like, it's whipping around like crazy. He is going to cast. He does have. He does have a transmutation spell. No, you know what? Yeah, this one's tricky. I think he would be like seeing Midolfir climbing up there, and he's like, Midolfir's going to need help. He is going to create. He's going to take the iron construct that's already on the deck. That's like a helper, and he's going to cast iron construct on it. And improve it, basically shape his body for this exact purpose. Like he's going to give it like an extending arm, like a telescoping arm by casting this spell on him and just altering the shape of the construct already. And Midolfir, you see down below this construct taking shape, and it's got like these long extending arms, and it begins to climb the mast behind you. He actually doesn't have a spell that is like mending. Max has mending, but Flickerwist doesn't really have one that does that.
But all right, so here's the thing, though, right? Like there's a way to fix a thing properly, and then there's a million other ways to jury rig a situation, right?
Yeah,
like, I understand there's a pulley that's usually there so that people can adjust the sail, intricately and stuff. But like a sailor would they would see like the rope hanging from a mast and be like, oh, I can just like lash that around this other post over here.
Yes.
I would yell out like, stop trying to fix it and just like get it stable.
Yep.
Well, that's my goal.
That's what Midolfir is doing essentially. Yep. Yeah. It's trickier than said because it's the actual like anchor at the top of the mast. So that's the complication in the moment. Let's go back to Finnery and Max.
Yeah, but so there's other ways to deal with this, right? So you're talking about sails. Mm-hmm. They can take the other side of the sail down. Like this is what sailing does. If you have and I don't know exactly how the sails are doing it. They can drop the sails and then the ship will stop moving if it's actually using the wind for propulsion. Yeah. Like as a sailor, when something is like flying randomly, no one would go and grab. I'm not a sailor, but like I don't think they would go grab the rope that's flying randomly. They would drop the sails.
Yes.
And that way they would stop for propulsion and then let it stop listing. I think like that's the thing that is like there's like 40 other gnome sailors on this ship, right?
So
and one of them should know what to do in this situation.
The sail itself that's fallen, essentially causing the ship to now have like erratic movements because it's designed for 2 imbalanced sails or a symmetrical number of sails. So the one is down. it doesn't seem like the crew is necessarily worried about not being able to bring it down. It's that if they don't put it somehow back into place or otherwise take the second sail down, that the ship is going to list and rock and bend in ways that are going to become more and more erratic. The second part of this is that you might be forgetting is that the rod that is the pinion that is holding all of this up, which also connects to the second set of sails, is for some reason disintegrating, and nobody has figured that out. Flinkawisp yells out, there's something going on with that. I need to go talk to Max. He usually is pretty good with this. And like the bosun is like, wait, no, you need to. And the crew is just kind of scrambling, and Flickerwisp runs back towards the galley, towards you guys. While that's occurring, you guys are not aware of any of this, Finnery and Max.
General, like, because I Max did spend a little bit of time going through like how the ship works.
Mm-hmm.
Without the sails up,
Mm-hmm.
does the ship just sort of hang out in the air, or does it like not?
The levitation is controlled by the engine room. You did determine that. The sails are the motion and maneuverability. So theoretically, if all the sails were down, then it wouldn't. It would just not move. It wouldn't crash necessarily. It would just not move. But you do recognize that it requires symmetrical sail power in order for it to be controllable. Otherwise, just like the parasails that you guys try to use, you might fly off. Yep.
So perfect. So like as these sailors are running around, they don't know what the deal with the mast is, but they would know, oh, like things are out of whack, we should drop the sails, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The bosun seems to be preparing to do that.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. All right.
Okay. So back to the interrogation room. You're now into the third round, which is the one that you were really trying to get at, which is detect thoughts. This, I believe, has a will negate.
I get the surface thoughts regardless.
What's the will negate against them?
It's for deeper.
Okay. So at the surface, you sense him thinking about escape. He has the emotions of like a trapped animal. Those are his instinctual things. He is trying to get to wherever his end destination was, which he in his head is seeing as the safe harbor for himself. So that is the surface thoughts, is all about that instinct for him right now.
So while Max is kind of listening in, he's keeping a really, like, he's staying close to this guy's head and keeping a close eye on the gag to make sure that it doesn't begin to, like, loosen up or anything.
Sure.
And if it does look like it's going to, Max is prepared to just put his entire fist into this guy's mouth.
Okay. Okay.
It's just that's my like prepared reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Finnery, you had held the kukri against him and told him that you would remove the gag. Was that just a bluff?
No, I say the things that I know Max is detecting thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to think about what he did to this ship. So I definitely tell him, look, you're in the ship with us. If we go down, we're going down together. So it's in your best interest to cooperate. So I want to get him, first off, to think about what he did. And then I will tell, if you promise not to cast spells, I will take your gag off. But then I'm going to get whatever the nastiest, like, piece of food, rag I can find. And I said, the moment you say something I don't like, I'm going to stuff whatever it is, like this nasty rag, back in your mouth. So I will be prepared to stop him from talking, and I will not take the kukri off his chest. So,
okay. I am going to roll a will save now to see how deep you can penetrate Max into his thoughts.
It is. Well, the point was to get his surface thoughts to be about what he did. Like, that's why I brought it up. Like, I want to talk about how he sabotaged the ship, so he thinks about what he did. Right?
Even after the will save, even if he passes the will save, I can continue to keep looking at his surface thoughts.
You sure about that? That's not how I'm reading it.
That's why the spell description says in the save see text, because it's specifically about the deeper thoughts.
Surface thoughts of any minds in the area. Targets will save from reading its thoughts. He must cast detect thoughts again to have another chance. I think if he, you can pick up on surface thoughts, but somebody who has control of his thoughts and is very good at this could potentially, obviously blank out those kinds of things. Okay. So he rolled an 18, which would save. Is 18 the DC max, or do you have any other? Okay.
No, that's it.
Okay. You feel a barrier between you and him.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think he can muddle his surface thoughts, but I would know he's muddling it. Yeah. If he just starts saying baseball, 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 okay, he's on purpose doing surface thoughts.
Okay. Finray, you notice Max seems to have hit a bit of a intelligence gathering issue.
It doesn't change anything about what I do. My job is very simple. I am interrogating this guy. I'm keeping him off balance. He almost died. He's got salt in his wound. He's in incredible pain. He's got a kukri to his throat, and a guy is threatening him and being a complete jerk to him. So that's wherever you want to put his mind thoughts, that's where I want to keep him. And then I'm going to start interrogating him about what he did to the ship. And then if he says anything I don't like, I will do nasty things to him. I mean, extremely clear. This is not a let's sit down and talk situation. There's a cold piece of metal on my chest by my throat. There's a guy who's randomly poking my cheek and stroking my face. This is not a good scene.
Okay. Noted.
That's so hot.
He, as he realizes you're not going to undo his gag, after having said that, and facing down Max.
No. I undid his gag, and I told him if he says he tried to cast a spell, I would use my other hand to slam the gag back into his face, or whatever the nasty crap-coated rag that I had on hand is.
Okay. So Max, are you doing anything as Finray removes the gag?
I guess not. Nope.
Okay. Before you do take the gag out of his mouth, Finray, you notice his eyes have looked at the shard that was taken out for a moment, far away from him.
He's blindfolded.
Oh, you blindfolded him. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you blindfolded him.
Yeah. He can't see. He can't wiggle his fingers. He has a gag now, but that is going to be taken out. Yeah.
Okay. You take out the gag?
Yeah, that was the whole point. Is I need to know what's going on with the ship, and I need to figure out how to fix it. So he's the one that did it. So he just has to say what he did.
Okay. As you take the gag out, he spits at you, and he looks like he's about to speak again. He used his moment though to just spit. You doing anything in that?
I wouldn't do that. I mean, my hand is right in front of his mouth with a gag. If he tried to spit, I would have blocked the.
Okay, you block his spit as he attempts to do so. He doesn't really know where you are anyways. It was just a wild spit outward.
I stick my finger in his nose because that's very demeaning.
Okay. You do so. Max, you notice that he is about to cast a spell. Is there anything that you're doing in this moment?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's trying to cast the spell, I already said at the top, I would stuff that rag back into his mouth.
Okay.
That's if he talks, I will let him talk. If he tries to cast the spell, I would know the difference and stuff the rag back in. It's okay.
As soon as you take it out, he begins doing that. Max gives you a look that tells you that a spell is about to be cast, and you stuff it back in before he's able to.
And during this whole thing, even though he's about to, like, he's obviously thinking about a spell. Like, I'm still getting muddled thoughts.
You're getting just teleport out of here, teleport.
That's as the rag goes back in, I say, Max says, "Oh, you're not getting out of here, like that."
Okay. Through the door, Flickerwisp bursts in. He's like, Max, hey, there's something disintegrating stuff on the sails.
Oh, great. I look at Finray and I say, this guy's useless. Just kill him. Don't let him get out of here. And I leave.
Okay.
I will stay with him and continue to torment him while everyone's gone. I can roll an intimidate check. I can roll diplomacy. I can
give me an intimidate check.
Whatever you want.
You stab him with the kukri every once in a while, just lightly, like nicking him. Max, as you return to the deck with Flickerwisp, you do see a disintegrating system of anchors. The metal is just disappearing like it is.
These are multiple objects that are disintegrating in sequence from each other?
Great question. It had previously, as Flickerwisp was describing it, it was just a single kind of rod that was disintegrating. But as you appear at the top of the ship, you now see that it is starting to touch the mast. Whatever this is now starting to actually disintegrate slowly the mast itself. And if this were to continue for minutes, the mast itself could be destroyed.
But that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is...
Yes, multiple objects, because now it's the mast also.
But is it like a disease that has now spread to the mast, or is it the pinion is causing disintegration on the mast, and if it was to be removed, that would stop? You know what I mean?
The pinion itself has all but disappeared now. So it doesn't seem like that is the thing that's causing it. It seems to be just another thing that's disintegrating with it.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't dispel magic, so we're fucked. I say to Flickerwisp. You should, hey, Flickerwisp, if you can dispel magic, you should, like, do that.
Flickerwisp, like, pulls out the wand of Fireball. He's like, do we need to cauterize the wound?
That would leave us without a mast.
Medolfir, you are up on the mast, and you can now visually see it, the robot at your feet. It is spreading out, and it's like this purple ember fire that is spreading out about like an inch every second, just widening and not even an inch, like maybe a half inch a second, just kind of spreading out from the pinion slowly now onto the mast itself. This is
right at the top of the mast.
Right at the top of the mast right now.
So he wasn't able to climb up fast enough to be able to pull the thing out before it got to the mast, basically.
No, the pinion was pretty far gone when he started his way up, yeah. Okay. So at this point, like, the pinion itself... have you actually tried to reach out and grab it, Medolfir?
Well, we hadn't got back to me, so...
yeah.
But if I've noticed that this is spreading to the mast, like, it's... Like, is it obvious that the material itself is like getting super weak as that ember fire or whatever is, starting
of the mast?
Yeah.
It appears like parts, like almost like if termites were eating away at it. Yes, eventually the material will disappear at this rate.
How thick is the mast up here at the top?
At the very top, it's about 24-inch diameter.
And how far? Okay, so this is like right at the top of the mast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the ember fire stuff has already like erupted the pulley system, or is it?
It has affected the one side. It has not gotten around the mast to the other anchor side, and it seems like there's some sort of thing in the middle so that they are actually two completely different pinions on each side of the mast. It is not like it is going through the mast itself.
But like let's say if I were to, or if somehow we were able to like shear off the top of the mast to keep the corrupted part from reaching the rest of the mast, doing so would take both pinion pieces. It would, like, both pinion pieces are part of the top of the mast that would get removed in that scenario, correct?
Yes. So if you were to chop the top of the mast off and basically like remove this thing that's spreading, yes.
So I'm going to yell out, can we replace this pinion hardware if we need to?
I mean, with fabricate, we could. Is what Flickerwist yells back. I think so, yes. With enough time, yes.
Tell this robot to come up so that I can stand on it.
I'm sure they have extras in the... Like, you don't go sailing with, like, no replacement parts.
Yeah. The bosun's like, yes, like, if we control this, we can repair it. We'll just be stuck here for a little bit.
Command this robot to come up so that I can stand on it, so that I can have both hands on my sword.
Okay. They do so. The robot sort of switches places around the mast with you, like kind of rotating around to the other side so that it can be a support for you.
All right. I'm going to try to just all my might swing across to try to cleave the top half of this mast that's getting corrupted from the main part of the mast.
Okay. Flickerwist this entire time is looking over to Max and like, oh, I really wanted to use the fireball. It's been weeks.
Well, hold on to that because we might need to do it. Just don't do it while Midolfir is still up there. GM, is there like a number of people gathered around the mast and stuff that
they're not just gathered, they're doing stuff. So the crew is running around, like they're starting to loosen the ropes that hold the main boom of the other sail, trying to get it to pull down so that at least the sail won't take any damage if it does spread.
Yeah. So the mast is like 25 feet up, you said?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's people like either along the sail, like partially
base.
up, or
along the base, along the boom, yeah.
But there's nobody up in the netting, like wrangling the actual sail itself and stuff.
There's a person up in the crow's nest above that's assisting with, like, he has a hook device that is up there with him, and he's like kind of reaching out and kind of helping those at the bottom by pulling and slacking in the appropriate way.
Okay, Max is going to cast haste to just get all of them to be more efficient, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Hold on, does that in any way help, actually? Let me see.
I'd say in this scenario, because it's going to increase actions, it won't just be on attacks. It will help in these actions also.
Yeah, because like usually it's like if you take a full attack action, you get an extra attack.
So instead of that, I'm saying in lieu of an attack action, their skill action is going to get double.
Okay.
Time.
So yeah, I up to 9 people. And if there's not enough in that range for the 9, then I'll include myself and Flickerwist.
Nope. Yep. You got enough in that. There's plenty of crew
and
to take on that. Yep. Midolfir, are you actually hacking at this thing? You hear Flickerwist being like, I don't want to kill you, but I want to use the fireball. Are you hacking it?
I am.
Okay. Go for it.
I don't know, for some reason, all of a sudden I had 2 banker fills in my inventory.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I adjusted the inventory to account for just 1.
Okay.
Okay.
And so this is wood. And you are breaking and entering, basically. So this is going to have a hardness of 5.
Am I going to roll this as single attack or full attack?
Yeah, I mean, tell me, are you trying to do this as like one massive strength, like ripping or like breaking, or you're hacking, right? If you're hacking, it's going to be whatever your full action could do.
I'm going to try to, like, I'm trying to do this as quick as possible. I guess if I could do full attacks in the same amount of time, round wise, mechanically wise, I can do a single attack. I guess I'd do full attacks.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. No fate but what we make.
Okay. I mean, it's an inanimate object, so you're going to strike it. It's just, okay. 44, 41. Oh, and then, yeah, I'll give you, like, with that third attack, you have urgency behind it that strikes it for another. So you essentially did 165 points of damage on this object. And its hardness is only 5. It is a rather large constructed, like almost fortament of some sort, but that is more damage than is needed to break that part off of it. So yes, you're like hacking it, and your sword should not be this good at chalking into the wood, but you see the sheen of it just reacting to your needs, and it chops, and that last one, like a samurai slice through it, splintering it completely off. It comes loose, and now the second pulley is almost holding the first pulley, part of the sail, and the top of the mast all loose. And this is occurring just as the gnomes are starting to lower the tension on the second mast. So it's starting to come down controlled.
I'm going to shout down, don't let the corrupted part touch any of the ship wood.
Okay, noted. It is...
Wrap it up in the sail.
Okay. Who's going to... Landray sort of volunteers to like run up and grab it without grabbing the actual part that's disintegrating. As he puts the sail around it, and it has fully loosened at this moment. Okay, Max, with your mage hand, you're assuring that the part that's closest to the thing that's, say, the corruption is not being touched at all by Landray.
Is there any way I can make the mage hand somehow visible?
I'd say if you also cast like a... I'll allow it. It's fine. Yeah, it can be visible.
Okay.
Is that a 3.5 thing? Because I know like in 5e, you can cast it visible or invisible.
It doesn't explicitly say one way or the other, and I think it's fine for it to. Yeah.
The mage hand, it's not like, it's usually not, in 3.5, it's not like a physical thing. Like, it doesn't have hit points or anything like that.
Yeah. It's not like from Critical Role 5e one. Yeah. Okay. Together they are able to pull that sail, one of the sails, and enwrap it like parchment. What are you guys doing with that? The ropes are cut loose.
I was just trying to push it off the edge of the ship and have it fall into the ocean.
Yeah, Landray assists with that, and they grab it. Now, he's like, are you guys trying to throw it with the sail over? Because the sail is now starting to disintegrate too.
When did it? Oh my god. Okay.
You tossing it?
I'm concentrating on just pushing the piece of wood. If other people want to do that,
okay.
I don't
the
know.
Wood.
I don't think I have a spot of terrible spotting, so I don't even know if I would notice it. You know.
Okay. So. The mage hand and Landray help to flip the mast portion over. It's about 80, 90 pounds of wood plus, all the little bits. It's pretty heavy, but together with the mage hand, he's able to lift it up over the edge, dropping it into the ocean. He's left with the sail that is now sort of like a little moth hole of purple light that everyone does see. Medolfi, are you calling out anything? Max, are you calling out anything?
Wait, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed. Can you give the description you just gave again?
Sure. So when you guys asked for the sail to be used to wrap around the object, like a parchment, it did come into contact with whatever this sort of corrupting thing is that was spreading. So now the one sail, you guys still have 2 plus the one that is not touching it. The one sail now that was enwrapping it is having a tiny little purple moth hole of this effect occurring on it.
I get that. The reason I did the mage hand was to try to avoid having anything touch the mast, but I guess other people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't want it to touch a ship, but I know it's starting to corrupt the sail, but shout down when I see that and be like, throw it over the side. Get it
Lanray
off the
does. Yeah, Lanray does so. He flings it off the side of the ship. It kind of parasails down, 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 and splashes eventually into the water below, several hundred feet below. As you look around, whatever was spreading up there, Midolfir has completely stopped. The ship has also come to a complete stop. There's,
Max starts climbing up the mast, very carefully, like one rung every turn.
Okay. No climb check needed. You get up there with the robot and Midolfir.
And I'm gonna tell the sailors as I'm like beginning to start going up, bring me spare wood about the same size as what we just cut off.
Okay. They go like,
bring
there's
it up
wood.
there.
There's wood down in the hold, the cargo hold. We could just get from some of the crates and things. So they immediately start going down to disassemble things. The bosun does yell out that he does have spare parts for the pulleys and plenty of rope as needed. The pinion itself, he's like, we don't usually worry about that. It's connected to the mast. He's like, I think we can salvage it off of some constructs and things as needed. The construct kind of like turns over and is like,
So
not conscious, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't. GM has to interpret fabricate spell because I don't know if I can append stuff onto an existing object. It's not as specific.
I would say fabricate being the level of spell that it is for mundane objects, as this would be. I would give pretty significant leeway as long as the material to material is the same to shape it however you need for your needs.
Okay.
Yep.
When they get up there with the wood, I'm planning on casting fabricate to fix the mast.
Sounds good. And I will allow knowledge engineering in lieu of craft in this case, because you don't have to be the one. Like, there's plenty of crew members that are up there that would assist in shaping and telling you how it's supposed to look. So I'll allow a knowledge engineering.
And I also spent an actual period of time in the game
studying
going through the ship design. Yeah.
Yep. So, Finri, you feel the ship stop rocking violently and come to a hold as you and the dormant root person sit in silence. He kind of like, in between the rope in his mouth and the blindfold and the gag itself, you just can like tell he's kind of smirking a little bit.
In my possession, I have this thing called Dust of Illusion.
Okay.
Which I think is a street jug that provides hallucinogenic effects. I don't know how to deal with it. I think it's just like you eat it, I don't know, you smoke it, whatever. This dude's really pissed me off, so I'm going to give him the drug, and we're going to go from there. And I'm going to torment the hell out of this guy.
I will say that it has to be ingested. Let me double check. Yes, it. Hold on.
He has an open wound. I'm sure that won't be an issue.
He has to visually be able to see it, is how it works. He doesn't have to eat it.
He has to see the drug. This is a drug that is a vision-based consumption.
Yeah. It's almost, I mean, it's like a psychedelic, sort of the way that what is it? There's a bird, the what is it? Spectral hawk now. There's a bird, prismatic effects, it's sort of like that. The prismatic effect itself is like the drug. But yeah, it is actually, you stare at it, and the dust starts changing form in your mind. And,
okay, so he can't see it.
Yeah, hold on. I've got the reading though. You might be mistaken on this. the dust has the following effect. I don't know if Finry would know that or not, though. Sorry, that was... I don't know why it picked Max to tell you that. It's more like it disguises a being, not... I misread it. So it's... the effect isn't like a psychedelic.
You put it up, you take it, and other people see you differently.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not... I got this for doing the assassination mission, and they told me it was a drug. But if it's not a drug, and it's actually useful, like there's no negative effects, which this is like a one-time use positive thing. What I got from the dude was like, here's cocaine I'm going to give you a bag of, right?
That's the street name for it. Now I understand. Now I recall what occurred in Graydon-Dur. Yes. You received a actual drug that they just coyly refer to as Dust of Illusion, which is not the wondrous item, which is also of the same name. So this is like angel dust, essentially. And you would have to ingest that. It is not a magical thing. It is actually like a drug poison kind of thing. So you would have to remove his gag for him to ingest.
You fully don't have to do that. You put the drug on the part of the gag that's currently exposed, like into the folds of the cloth, and then you spin the gag in his mouth so that the part that's got the drug on it is on the inside.
I'll allow it.
That's what I'll do, and then I'll make him kind of... I'll take this out of my... It's been sitting in my... I don't have a use for it. This torture seems like a good one, so I'm going to put it there.
Okay. In the immediate moment, like within the first, say, 10, 15 seconds, there's no reaction to him other than he's like aware that some foreign substance has just been made in his mouth, and he's trying to violently but behind the gag, but he can't. Like it's in his mouth. Eventually the saliva will take it. And I would say 30 seconds in this moment while everyone's dealing with the deck has passed. There is a change in the way he's seated. He becomes more slumped over. And within a minute, he's doing these weird, he's moving back and forth with his shoulders and just doing this weird humming. He's like, I'm
going to take the gag out and continue the interrogation.
Gag is out now. Okay.
Yeah, same as before. If I hear him trying to cast a spell, we'll do exactly. But...
Okay. You take the gag out. You still have the blade on his chest?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you are aware that drugs typically are a matter of either a will save to take on negative effects or constitution directly, depending on exactly how it is. Fortitude also potentially, depending on the kind of drug. There are various different poisons and drugs that you have to check against as such. As you take the gag out, his mouth is opened up, like he doesn't realize the gag is gone. It's just the gag is gone. He's just still humming along, slack-jawed. What are you doing?
I'm going to change my approach a little bit. And I'm like, hey, you, what are you doing here? I'm acting like he's a friend of mine and he can see me and we're part of the hidden route or whatever.
Did you take the blindfold off?
No.
Okay. So you're just talking to him. He's hearing you.
He's counting on the illusionary effects to fill in the gap of his lack of vision. Yeah.
You're speaking this in Gnomish?
How it works, yeah.
Yep.
He responds in Gnomish. I've come out of a dream. I was on a voyage. But now I'm back home.
What did you find? What did you find? Did you get it?
I got it. I have it. But it was taken. And then he mentions what he had. He said, I saw the city and I found the relic. The crystal of Weldheim. I have it. It's beautiful. It's order and chaos, life force and void all at once. It's perfection. And then he slumps over. Oh, the floor is moving. It's dark, but I can... Why is it so dark?
When you teleported, it was crazy. I think your body just needs some time.
Okay, I'll just keep singing. I'll keep. Where's Adrian?
I'm the only one here now. Who else do you want me to bring? What should I do? What can I get you?
Find Adrian. He has to take this to Kragenstone. He starts to. You see vomit pooling in his mouth, and he's too dumb to in this moment to actually realize there's vomit filling up his mouth. It's just he's leaned back, his neck is back, his head is back.
Lean him forward,
vomiting.
So it comes out. So he
spills out. And he slumps loosely. Where am I?
You want me to go find Adrian?
He starts to be more paranoid. He's like, no, Adrian was captured. No, he might have been turned. Lucius, what have you done? And he starts wriggling around violently now. In this moment, there is a sense that he's trying to break free of his bonds, but mindlessly, he doesn't even know what kind he's in. He just is thrashing around violently. Are you doing anything?
No, I'm gonna be like, listen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're not in good shape. You came injured. We can't lose you too.
He begins instinctually wanting to cast something. You notice his mouth begins to move. Are you doing anything in this moment? Whether he's aware of it or not, instinctually in his gut, being a sorcerer, he's relying on something he does when he feels in danger. What are you doing?
Oh, Rag goes back in.
He's now he's very violently trying to resist. Okay, noted. The gag is back in. You do see the backpack. I think you left the backpack with you, not with Max, or did Max take the whole thing?
I gave everything to Max. I don't know if you.
Okay, cool. Noted. Back on the top of the ship. You guys have begun the orders to fabricate. Max, you cast fabricate. I need you to do the knowledge you did knowledge engineering 25. That is solid. It is at the end of the day like a boat. So you are basically stringing it up as you know about nautical engineering, being from Terthus, seeing plenty of ships. Similarly, the bosun has brought to you enough materials to remake the system that was holding the lines and the sails in tension. This is going to take some time. I don't think it's immediate. The fabricating is pretty close to immediate, it seems.
Well, the fabricate is just to fix the mast itself, I think. Right. And I don't know if after the mast is fixed up, if holes need to be drilled for the pin.
Yeah.
That's all extra. As far as I'm concerned, once the mast is fixed,
you're done fabricating.
I'm beginning to climb down. I don't see anything else I can personally help with, and I'm just taking up space.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the rest of the crew start taking inventory of the objects that the bosun has gathered. There seems to be an agreement that the bosun's like, we can repair this. We're going to need some time to repair it to get it back up. But with the sails that you brought, we can replace the one damaged one. There'll still be an extra one in case any other damage occurs.
GM, can I flavor this a little bit?
Sure.
You know how I said I was like going up the mast really slowly, and I at the same time I yelled out for them to bring extra wood to the top. Can it be like they get the sailors get the wood to the top before I even make it up there?
Sure.
And then by the time I get up there, like I get to the top of the mast, I cast the spell, and then I start coming down real slow again.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Like, I'm not even up there for like.
You're just moving like a sloth, essentially.
I'm literally at the top for like 6 seconds, and then I immediately start coming back down.
Yep. Just like for like a minute, searching your foot for the rung below. Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Modolfir and Lanray, watching this, you're not really of much use other than seeing this. Modolfir, would you be hanging around to see Max trying to repair this, or where would you be going?
I mean, his strength is probably be useful for like holding ropes and stuff while they're trying to.
Yeah. As is Landray's. Landray has a decent strength too.
I mean, it's a bunch of gnomes.
Yeah.
I feel like you probably have like a order of magnitude strength increase over them.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay there for whatever muscle work is needed.
The bosun kind of waves you off. He's like, we're going to need that strength, but right now it's about re-anchoring some of these things, and it's technical. They're going to need to rebuild basically the pinion and anchor system. It's going to take some time. We're going to be here for probably an extra day.
Okay, well, I guess get out of the way until I'm needed.
Okay.
Max is going to, once he gets back to the bottom, he's going to start going back towards wherever... Finray, or the chicken coop, right?
Yeah. Okay. Here is where I'm going to reintroduce the Mad Lib. Now that we know what has occurred, you all return back to the chicken coop. You find Finray seated next to, or standing next to, however he wishes, a whacked out version of what you left before. Clearly, like, he's doing just like hymnal chants behind this now stained gag. You see vomit. Yeah, there's vomit pooled next to him. There's some still on his lap. He is like shaking at times, but then like calming down. It's just like these very erratic, very emotional mime-like motions. If you could just imagine a mime doing all sorts of different emotions without hands or eyes or anything, right? Just shoulder and body movement. I mean, this guy, he told Finray some stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say, I assume Finray would tell you what he told him. Are you doing anything with him? I mean, he is potentially dangerous. You do know he's a very powerful sorcerer.
Are they? I'm sorry. I just got. Are we together again?
Yes.
Question. Do we know where the ship is? Like on the world map? Is it still over water?
It is still over water. Flickerwisp has noted in privacy that he actually has no idea, other than he knows that you all are west of the continent, and that if you continue to fly east, you'll get to the continent.
I thought we had on the world map. There's a circle of where we thought we were. Yeah,
that was where he indicated. Yes, that was like how he talked in front of the crew. Like, yeah, we're over here.
I see.
But like,
really, we could be anywhere.
Yes, a very wide net.
Okay.
So yeah, if you continue to go east, you would hit the continent. This is a Columbus-like crossing. This is. You are not aware of what you're going to get to. So
the other clue that we have is, I don't know if the spell gets lost if he tried to cast it and is interrupted. I don't know if he still keeps that spell, but if he's casting teleport,
yeah,
and Max knows the teleport, maybe that'll help us as well.
He was very interested on asking Flickerwis where you all were, potentially trying to measure up distances. Max, you are aware that teleport is able to move someone 100 miles per level within the plane that you are in currently. Mm-hmm. And you can actually bring an additional being per 3 caster levels, but he didn't seem to have anybody around him. So, sort of estimating his level based on the spells he's able to do. Potentially, he could travel as much as 1,000 miles, maybe a little bit more. You're not quite sure. You're not sure if you saw all of his power or just some of it. Mm-hmm. Medolfir, what are you searching for?
So I kind of start just looking around at the skies.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing so, because I don't see anything, obviously, I'm going to be like, guys, that's another problem I don't think anybody's taken into account. Mm-hmm. There was mention of potential seekers that might be trying to find the ship.
Laner's like, oh yeah, Flickerwis did mention something about people coming and violently killing us if we don't take the goods. Arcanists of some sort.
Maybe might not be a bad idea to post a watch at a couple of points along the boat, just scanning the skies for anything.
Do we know anything about this relic this dude talked about, the whatchamacallit of Wellenheim, the crystal of Wellenheim, I think he said?
Yeah, you mentioned exactly what he told you on his drug high to the rest of the group. Max, give me a knowledge religion.
Not Arcana?
Not Arcana. You're using your archivist abilities here. I'd also allow planar if you have planar higher planes.
You've got that because I got high, so I'm stuck in your mind now, right? Because I do.
Yep.
I think your religion is technically higher, though, Max.
I already rolled it.
Cool. Okay. Max. With that knowledge religion check, Weldheim is supposed to be the creator god of the plains, the original creator of the crystal, which is essentially what the dwarves believe more closely. Other religions kind of loosely believe in the concept of the crystal plane, loosely, but dwarves are really into it. Like they take it almost like what's it called when somebody believes something like literally
Fundamentalist?
Yeah, I mean, like they view the story as a literal thing that occurred.
Inerrant.
Yeah. All the other religions are kind of like, yeah, that thing kind of happened, I guess, and like refer to it, but not like.
Or like, it was a metaphor, guys.
Exactly.
The crystal was the friends you made along the way.
Right. Now, in the dwarven culture, there are certain relics that are fundamental to what they believe in, and the gnomes were raised with the dwarves a long time ago. That the gnomes don't believe in all that bullshit religion part, but they do believe in the fundamental sort of insane arcane forces that the dwarves talk about in their creation story. And part of that is this relic, a relic known as the Crystal of Weldheim. Whether you're looking at that thing, you're not sure. It looks like a piece of glass that's been fractured. Maybe it's a part of that. You're not sure.
Now that I've, in my own mind, I've kind of like searched my memories, and I've
in your mind fortress,
and I pulled out like the little the fake visual book that I'm like manipulating invisibly in front of me, like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
I put that one back into the invisible bookshelf, and I look on the other side, past Medolfir, and I pull a book out from the other side, and I want to think about the arcane attributes of this crystal.
Yeah.
Can I do a knowledge arcana, or do I need to do, what do I need to do?
Knowledge arcana, yes.
Okay.
And you're going to get at least a 20, I believe. Yep. Okay.
My minimum is 22.
That's what I meant. Yep. So that's, as you stare into this crystal, you realize a unique element to this crystal. It is more I don't know how you would phrase it, but from an arcane standpoint, what makes diamonds one of the most critical material components in certain arcana is the perfection of its structure. It allows like this hyper focus that allows certain spells like Revivify utilizes it. Some of the more powerful spells that rely on a diamond, it's because of this focal nature that can concentrate. As you look at this crystal, somehow it is more perfect. It is like, you're not quite sure how that even makes sense. It's a paradox. If something is perfect, how can something be more perfect? Yet this thing that you look at is that. It is almost like looking at a paradox, and you can see just by observing it, it's absolute perfection beyond even the physical. It's just perfection.
I'm thinking like
propose marriage.
There's actually a spell for that, but it's more inappropriately named. I think it's like bend knee or something. So this is a time crystal, obviously, because it's more perfect than space. All right. Yeah. I don't say that. I'm just thinking. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it look like, when I'm looking into this thing and I'm looking at the crystal, does it look like it's actively doing something?
No.
Is it okay? It's just a component.
It seems like it's just a component. It's interesting because you get a similar feeling as to when you look at a whetstone that hasn't been used for anything. Like, those are also not active spells on the whetstones. It's just kind of like that it can be able to be used in such a manner. You kind of get the same feeling from this. Like, if this is a pure, perfect structure like a diamond or like a whetstone, maybe it's that it can be used in a similar way. Like, from an arcane standpoint, you view it as being a component that might be, like relic level.
Okay, but I think that it's a swappable, like, it's just a different scale of a whetstone. Like, maybe it's it's natural instead of manufactured.
No. When you look at this, you know that it cannot exist of the natural. It has been created by the divine.
Okay. Yeah. I say all that while looking into the middle distance.
You hear chuckling from the gagged gnome.
I look at Finnery and say, "Why is he still alive? I told you he's useless."
I like how Max still has other people to kill.
This was a matter of minutes. And by the way, I never stopped interrogating him the whole time. Like, we just talked about like a couple minutes of stuff. So I don't know if I could have pumped him for any additional information.
He's so wildly high at this moment. He's on a journey that is not based on reality anymore. You caught him in his kind of cognizant transition phase, but he's straight up like, dancing with clowns in a rainbow padded room at this point.
I feel like I should let him ride that out. Let's let him go. Let's let him calm down. We can talk to him later.
Yeah.
We don't have to like hang out with him. We can go to. So he's gagged, blindfolded. His fingers are kind of in a way he can't cast. He's got vomit all over him, and he's tied up. So I was like, have one of the sailors guard him, and with explicit like lock the door so he can't get out, and say like he's a very powerful magician. If he dies, he dies. Don't do anything. Don't touch him. You'll turn into a rat. You'll be polymorphed into a rat if you touch him. So no one is there. I want a guard, but they're not allowed to talk to him.
Understood.
Or whatever,
Full Hannibal Lecter like apparatus, no touchy.
Yeah,
everyone
but
stay
like,
away.
I don't want them to be like, oh, but I just took the gag out because you look like he was sick. Like I want him to know this is the guy that killed 2 of your friends. We need to give him to the authorities in whatever the name of the city is that floats in the sky. So you have to hold on to him without screwing it up.
You do so. Are you guys leaving the engine room to discuss about something?
Well, if they came to me, they're in the chicken coop area.
Yeah.
Chicken coop. Sorry.
I think we need to go talk in private.
Okay. Flickerwist comes with you as well. He's like, "Oh, can I talk too? I'm useless."
Max is gonna like one more time inspect everything on this guy, make sure that nothing was missed as far as like spell casting requirements.
Okay.
You check his oil as well, Max, while you're at it.
Yeah, I stick a finger in his dip. Hold on, no.
Okay, noted. Yeah, all that.
Is that like a search or is it just automatic?
I'd say automatic. Like you find that he no longer is holding onto anything. Whatever was in his hands was dropped in the original.
Does he? So he has a gag in his mouth, but does he have? Is there anything securing the gag in his mouth?
Yeah, I'm just basically. There's no way outside of somebody assisting him that he would get let loose right now. And honestly, in the position he's in, like if you guys left him like this, he'd eventually die because it's just like he's not able to do anything right now.
Yeah.
You feel very confident with how much time
it would take him at least 3 days to die, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's in a good place.
Yeah. At this moment, Flickerwisp in private.
Well, we should go to Flickerwisp's room where we can make sure that we're not being overheard or something, right?
Understood. He raises the following. And I'm going to slow play it a little bit so Midolfir might be able to rejoin here since he dropped audio. Flickerwisp tells you about his journeys before joining this crew and that he was a sea dog. He's like, I don't know what it means. I was a sea dog for a wealthy group of gnomes. They always wanted to go. Oh, Midolfir's back. So,
brief.
No worries.
Interruption.
Yep. Flickerwisp is telling that he used to be a sea dog for a wealthy group in Cragwell Dusk who always was looking for ancient, like fancy goods and, what one would call like rich people relics, not necessarily for power, but just to say like, I own this piece of art. Let's like Rothschild-esque gathering of things. And that oftentimes he was sent to an island called Evitspire off the coast of Yvanoth, essentially, out on the archipelago, the Dorgian archipelago, which is the farthest reaches of the continent. What's that?
Midolfir, we can hear you. I feel like this is a consequence of the Mad Lib and land rate.
So, as Flickerwisk says this, Landry is like, I think I traveled there once on the way to Terthus. We stopped in port there as we were coming around we had to take one stop in Evitspire. And essentially, Flickerwisp is like, one of the things that I heard a lot about were relics of Weldheim. There was a lot of trade happening there for those kinds of relics because there's basically no regulations there. It's the Shatterwake of the dwarves, essentially. It is loosely run by a junta of people who take power when they have power. So, what are you guys debating? Like, where are you guys going? You can alter it if you wish, but like this gets brought up, and Flickerwisp is like, there could be something that helps me get home related to this if it is something that is controlling time and space itself. What say you guys?
I want to go to the land, and then we'll figure it out from there. I don't know if this is gonna get us to the land. I feel like it could be dangerous to kind of like take this and run because we don't know where we're gonna go if we try to do the teleport situation, is what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. I think we just need to fix the boat, get to the land, get our bearings, and then go from there. We probably have people on our tail as well. And we're going to have to figure out how to fly this boat with just the 5 of us. So there's a lot to do.
As you say, just the 5 of us, a person appears next to all of you, wearing a purple cloak, facing the wrong direction. Are any of you doing anything in this moment?
Wait. What do you mean by facing the wrong direction? Like he's got his cloak on backwards?
No, like you guys are talking in like a little round circle in Flickerwisp's captain quarters, and like this person just appears in the room but is not facing you all. He's like facing the wrong way, but in your room.
Remember that scene from Spaceballs where the guy gets beamed down and his head's on backwards?
Yeah, potentially like that.
As soon as you said that, modal fear, that's all I thought about, and I was like, that would be the best thing right now.
Are you reacting in any way to this person who has appeared out of nowhere?
In a split second, anything about the dress, the clothes, familiar.
It is raggedy and cheap looking, like something a pauper would wear. Finry, he seems to be like looking around and confused what he's looking at. He's like in the corner of the room and he's just like, what? Where are you?
I will say, you need to just slow your roll, brother. And I will definitely go with modal fear and we can flank him. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Who are you?
GM, what's the name of
his neck?
What's the name of the people that come after the ship?
The Seekers.
Yeah, is he a gnome? Like what race is he?
He's tall. He's like 6 feet. I mean, you don't see his skin or his face in this moment because he's just facing the wrong way. As you call out to him to be like, as you said, cautiously, and Modolfir draws his sword and you guys approach. He turns around and you see a familiar face. The face of Jameson Dell.
Oh, that.
Who looks at you all and goes, no, well, hold on. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for you guys all over. Where have you been?
Okay, GM, I know I picked Jameson Dell, but who the fuck was he?
Jameson Dell.
Acer Magica's guys.
He was one of the 3 Acer Magica guys, the one who had a teleportation staff. He's like trying to explain, like, I've been reaching out to you guys since you left Terthus.
Didn't he die?
No, he's alive. You guys escaped with him.
Didn't one of the 3 die?
Yeah, a long time ago, one of them died. But
right.
Yeah,
it wasn't him. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are really hard to get a hold of. Also, wait, is that Flickerwisp? And then he kind of looks at you, Finrey, and he's like, you also look familiar too.
Yeah.
Look, Finrey, things happen. I changed a little bit, but it's fine.
Okay. I'm just catching up. A lot has happened over the last month and a half.
Finrey, you should. Max looks over Finrey and says, "Yeah, I think you had like a growth spurt."
Growth spurt? Growth. Wait,
Yeah,
gnome versus halfling?
Something
And I
happened.
fell out of love with nature. It was a summer of discovery.
Okay, all right. He's like, where are we? Why are we on here? It took everything I could find in the Acer Magica network to be able to get on here, and I had no idea where I would be sent. What are we on right now? Are we on a ship?
We're on a flying ship from a gnomish flying city to sell contraband to the gnomes that are in the gnomish on land city. And we captured a guy who wanted to kill us, who's right now high in the chicken coop. What's going on with you?
He's like nodding along, like, okay. He's just like, yeah, go ahead, Middlefield.
What did he focus on to get him teleported here? Because the way, I've been hanging around you magic user people long enough to know that you got to think of something to teleport to. What were you thinking of?
So I kept trying to contact you guys, and he points at you, Middlefield, Landry, and Max, and he's like, for whatever reason, I couldn't get in contact with you at all. Nobody was responding. It was almost as if it was being blocked. So then, not knowing what might have happened to you all, worrying that you might be dead, I started to focus on Flickerwisp, knowing that he had traveled out of Terthus and was not involved. I teleported here because I had found Flickerwisp. And
we found him.
Yeah. Okay, well, it sounds like you guys are dealing with your own thing. What I want to tell you is that Terthus has returned. We don't know what happened. Everyone evacuated the island. But when we sent magical envoys back to see what occurred in the Planetum, it was as if the entire place had turned into a tomb, a silent tomb. Nothing was alive inside of the Planetum when we returned, including the Veladrakes. So the city has cautiously started to repopulate.
What else?
That's kind of the biggie, Middlefield, that, the city was not destroyed. Beyond that, we've reconnected with the Acer Magica. We have some understanding of things that are occurring. Where have you guys been? Why were you not communicating at all? And what is this about contraband?
We were on a floating gnome city, so they might have had a bubble around them to avoid spying and stuff. I don't know.
And before that, we were underground. Oh,
you guys.
We found an elder brain.
Oh,
I'm just going to say that casually.
Yeah. Are you guys telling them the entire the 15 minutes version of where you've been and all that?
Yeah, he's our boy.
Okay, cool. Okay. In this moment, you've been told about this Evetspire place. I did say that once you know the entirety of the Mad Lib, you're able to change whatever you want. That would be the best for what you would want to do. There might be potential repercussions there. You can change one item, but there might be potential repercussions. So I will show you the Mad Lib. It is called The Journey of the Flicker Wing, which is now the new name of this ship, says the captain. Mm-hmm. In the 6 days further expected journey of the airship Flicker Wing, and part of this is what is to come. The party inhibited themselves by keeping the crew dignified. The successful attempt of Jameson Dell to mount the airship was aggrieved. I don't know what that means. When that was all done, we enjoyed a moment to perambulate while Flickerwist told us of the last several months. Before joining the airship crew, he was a sea dog for a wealthy group in Cragwell Dusk. He learned a secretive group who had appeared to trade at night for goods that were uncommon in the kingdom. Using his own outcome, he successfully impersonated one of the trading party, disguised himself as a hole, and made his way onto the ship. Magic stuff. Although the admiral was quick to threaten death immediately upon discovering Flicker was seeking, after discussing his background and travels through the planar veil, the admiral seemed more open to him remaining, promising Flickerwisp he knew a way back to his home. After these tales, we've all felt contentment, the party. So we focused on writing, whatever you guys are doing, these actions, I guess, is what we're talking about. You focus back on your rights. Eventually, with some adjustment, the party had determined to travel to Evitspire, where we convinced Flickerwist to disembark. For my part, that's that island at the far end of the archipelago, which was chosen last time. But again, you can change any of these answers with potential repercussion. For my part, I believe there was a gaping choice for the party, but alas, I am destined to be the worst wound. As Finry's grandmother says, a chef who undercooks capers can end the feast if they convince the king that it was poisoned all along.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this moment, because of this, you guys seem to have landed on going to Evitspire and that Flickerwist would disembark with you there. That being said, there are counterpoints of where people would like to go. There's definitely, obviously Midolfir has his inclinations. There might be various directions. Where does the party want to go? Keeping in mind you can change some of these answers.
I don't know where we want to go, but we need to keep this ship. That's my main thing.
Okay.
The whole leaving the ship and going feels like, maybe unless we can make a smaller ship that does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once you've gone on an airship, you need to stay on the airship,
So here's a question I have for you. The whole seeker thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a recap of what they said? What are they? And what's their mission?
They are powerful arcanists that are part of the Afrin Crag's floating city, that their mission is to obtain back the things they need to keep the city operating by trading through this airship. And to your knowledge, this might be one of other airships, or this might be the only airship. But essentially, if the agreement that is made with the airship captains or captain doesn't get fulfilled, the Seekers will come after that group. So if somebody takes a ship full of their stuff and smuggles it, the Seekers have ways of hunting them down and having retribution. It would theoretically be attached to the cargo or the ship, unclear, not necessarily any one person.
Yeah, so as long as we keep the ship, we're constantly under the threat of Arcanis zapping onto board and killing us in our sleep.
Yeah, but we've got the Valadrakes, we've got the Rakasha. I mean, they're gonna have to get in line. We've got the guy at Shatterwake. There's a lot of people looking to kill us.
Yeah, and they might not even be coming after you. You're not sure how it works. They might just be after their cargo. They might want the ship again. It's unclear. Right. Flickerwisp is Flickerwisp says, okay, it's a hot ship. Maybe I should at least go deliver the cargo. Maybe we should all deliver the cargo.
So, question, right? Do we know how long before they would even notice that things aren't working?
You expect that it's probably based on the expected delivery time and some mechanism for relay back about that occurring. So, you knew that the journey was supposed to be like 7, 8 kind of days total to get there. And theoretically, they were going to come back after that. So maybe like 16 days to 20 days. I'm sure there's some buffer. But, you assume that there was some way of communicating when a delivery is done.
But, like, Jameson couldn't contact us while we were on the island, right? That's
true. Whether it was whenever it was, like, he's been trying, and yes, he wasn't able to.
Is there what about a ship of Theseus kind of a discussion here? If we use this ship as the material over a number of days after we land to fabricate a new ship, is it still the same ship?
Sure. Yeah. Disassemble it. Just put it back together differently. Certainly true.
I don't think we need a ship this big. Like, we don't need a ship with a giant cargo hold that takes 50 people to run.
Flickerwisp immediately stops you and goes, I need a ship this big. It needs to be bigger, if anything.
Well, no, I mean, we need a smaller ship with more arms. We need, like, cannons instead of cargo. Flicker.
Max was thinking of a ship that had, like, biceps coming out of it.
Yeah. He's like, I have been thinking about creating a cannon that shoots fireballs so that it would, save my wrists. I've been getting tennis elbow recently. It doesn't feel good.
Didn't you get the plans for, like, a giant death ray?
I was just about to say, what about the book? What about the book?
he's like, I do still have that script from Mechanus, and I am very interested in utilizing it.
No. The manual of I don't know.
The dragon one?
Construction manual. Yeah. That we found.
You guys found that one. He has not seen that. I don't know if you've shared it, but he also got a script while in Mechanus that allowed the spell Fireball to be placed onto onto a construct.
Yeah, so, like, I start talking about, like, we don't need a big, slow ship, Flicker. We need a small, dangerous ship. Think scorpions, that Flicker. The scorpion, fireball cannons, bombs we can drop to bust holes. That's much more usable than this thing, which is a giant pack horse.
He kind of goes, okay, hear me out. If I had enough time, I don't necessarily disagree with you. We would have to find a ship maker. We'd have to rebuild it. We'd have to tear down the sails. We'd have to somehow get the crew to go along with it. They're from Afton Crag, so I don't know how we're going to do that. I agree with you, but I think in the interim, we need to play along at least on what this ship was intended to do.
Well, how about we get a non-flying ship? You start to create constructs to run the ship, and we don't have to. The crew is the problem.
The crew is the problem. Let's kill them all.
We just need a smaller ship that we get to go. You get to get some constructs to kind of do all the work, so we can lounge while they're flying the ship, and then we can upgrade it over time. We have these gee whiz bang awesome sails. We can grab whatever we need out of this boat and then unass it after we drop the cargo.
Yeah. So what I heard from all that is we're going to kill the crew, and I am into it.
God,
I mean, I didn't necessarily say kill, but if that's the way you want to play it, who am I to argue, Flicker? You're the captain.
I've watched them do all their tasks. They're all idiots. I can do my unseen servants can do what they're doing. We should kill them all.
God.
But we do need them for right now. Like, they're idiots, but I need the extra hands for at least some time.
Or hear me out. We can just let them know at our next port of call that their services are no longer needed and they can find other employment. And they can go about their merry day.
Modolfir, if we let them go on their merry way, they're from a secret floating city. They won't be back at that secret floating city. They're going to be pissed off.
Hey, what happened to we had a boat. Where's our boat? Didn't we have like a boat or two that we like gave away right before Shatterwick? We had a ship, I'm pretty certain.
We chartered a ship.
Yeah, you guys chartered a boat.
Yeah, but the captain was I thought the captain was a jerk, and then we killed him. Like I can't remember, but we definitely did some pirating on the high seas, and I thought we had a boat, and then like we had undead on it or something that we like. I can't remember.
Yeah, you guys did commandeer a ship that was attacked at sea and used it to go to Shatterwig. That was chartered to start, but you guys took control of it later. Flickerwisp is like, oh yeah, remember I kind of took that. A funny thing happened. I sunk the ship. Don't worry, I was okay. Everybody else died on the ship. I was okay. So it turns out when the crew starts screaming about rocks that you should listen to them. And now I know that, so that's good. I won't do that again with this ship. This is my second ship.
I look at Flickerwisp. I turned my head to Max and I said, Max, as the captain, what do you think we should say?
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm going to like take it down to like a potential like tertiary decision potentially. What's laid out is essentially you guys could go and deliver the cargo where it was supposed to go, the sensor house, wherever that is. You can go to Evanspire, which is the resultant of the Mad Lib. You could change that as you want, but it might have repercussions. Medolfir's obviously probably wanting to go back to Laas Sardat. I don't know, Medolfir, if you want to speak to that.
I mean, other than explaining that my journey there was not done, but we know how to get back.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on, out of character.
Mm-hmm.
What's different between the sensor house and Inspire? I thought that was the same place.
No, the sensor house is the original place this cargo was supposed to go to. Evanspire is just this tale that Flickerwisp has told about a place knowledgeable in the trade of these relics. It doesn't seem like the guy who you have gagged was going to the original sensor house. He seems to have gotten on this ship, gotten the thing he wanted, and was trying to teleport off of this ship to go to some other place.
So I'm going to point out, if we go to the sensor house on the scheduled delivery, they're going to be expecting certain faces that are no longer here to show, I would imagine, such as the captain that is no longer one whole piece.
Flickerwisp is like, well, I mean, between me and Max, we could probably create some sort of magical disguises for that. Weren't you guys disguised as constructs at one point?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Where was the ship? Where was the ship supposed to go?
House? Would it be to get what they're trading for? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, the sensor house would be so that you could drop off the cargo and potentially avoid the repercussions of these seekers. But it's up to you guys.
And then for the Evanspire, why do we honestly want to get rid of this thing that's obviously super important? It was potentially created by the gods, right? Do we just want to trade that away? I mean, I don't see the wisdom in that.
Oh, how's the crystal associated with Evanspire?
Yeah, so from Flickerwisp's stories, you hear that there was a lot of trade there, specifically in the goods of Weldheim relics, that the dwarves, the Dorgians, seem to have like a hyper focus on like obtaining, but like from a Rothschild-esque point of view, like just to say you own it as opposed to like for a purpose.
They're collectors.
Yeah, as opposed to the guy that's gagged in front of you, which seems to have thought this was like some sort of cornered piece object that they had to obtain for his political and sort of power.
Where on the map is this the whatever
Evanspire?
No, not. I know where Evanspire is all the way to the east, but
the
the sensor house. Where is that? I imagine it's a city somewhere, right?
Yeah, the sensor house is not a city. It is a remote trading post that you know to be by Tire Lake in Crag territory. So I think there's
okay.
Yeah, there's a lake right there.
Okay.
So
that's kind of on the way. Isn't that kind of on the way to Medolfir's thing?
It's very close, yes.
Yeah, it's probably like let me see, how many 100 miles? 200. It's like 400 miles away. I mean, relative, continentally wise.
Right.
Closer than you are right now.
What was the other white circle you drew on the map, like above?
Those are the two locations that were in the Mad Lib. So the one above that big lake on the east side of the continent is where Max picked, which was, yeah, I forget which one it was. It was one of the dwarven cities,
it's
and then
like
Turngrigg. Turngrigg, thank you. Yeah, and then Ebbet Spire is on the far peninsula or archipelago.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with making the delivery, mostly just because I don't want to wake up one night.
But
dead.
Before we leave the Mad Lib, I think GM said that there's an option to change one thing in the Mad Lib.
Mm-hmm.
As an option, do you want to change Ebbet Spire, which is way the heck out there, to Turngrigg, which is kind of...
Yeah, I would allow it. I would allow potentially Turngrigg to be the place that we're talking about where relics are transferred. I'd allow that lore to change.
Because then we could get to this, whatever this sensor house. We can go to Medolfir's thing, and then we can go to Turngrigg, and it's almost in a line. Just as
hold on, is that what
Medolfir's thing is a little bit south, or?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like reading the Mad Lib. How does changing Ebbet Spire to Turngrigg?
Essentially, like the party determines that you're traveling to Turngrigg instead of Ebbet Spire. The lore behind it would stay the same, but it'd be closer to the things that you are.
But the sensor house is not at Turngrigg.
No, you would still have to stop at the sensor house separately
if we wanted to do that.
Relic
if you wanted to do
would
that.
move from Ebbet Spire to Turngrigg, so that relic area is not Ebbet Spire's Turngrigg instead.
Yep.
So, but the sensor house should probably be our first stop, because if we make the delivery, then that might altogether or put off seekers from trying to find us or eliminate.
Yeah. Well, it would just delay it, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Eliminate it or at least delay it.
Yeah, nothing in the Mad Lib stops you guys from having that waylay sort of action first. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the big thing is I want an airship. So if we go to the sensor house, we can give up this ship, but then we would have to get another ship made and disembark and do whatever. Or
I don't know
how we do it.
I don't think we have to give up the ship. We're just delivering cargo.
Yeah, Flickerwisp and Flickerwisp goes like, well, I'm not going to pick up any boxes. So, I mean, you guys can go deliver it if you want, and I'll just stay on the ship, making sure, keeping everything under wraps and not cracking into any rocks, along with Jameson, since he's here now.
Yeah, we don't have to give up the ship just because we're going to if we go to the sensor house. That's just to deliver cargo that's in the cargo hold.
Flicker, if you made enough constructs, could you fly this ship just in the interim, or?
I could. He's like starting to estimate. He's like, with these dum-dums, I could probably replace one construct equals 3. He's like some unseen servants. He's like, yeah, given like a week's time, I could probably get something going. The constructs will take longer though, and I need materials for that. Given enough time, yes, I could replace this crew. Should I start killing now?
Well, I mean, I was figuring we're going to be going to this sensor house anyways. We're bringing a bunch of goods to trade anyways. If you need stuff to make constructs, I mean, one option is take the stuff in the hole, get it to the sensor house, trade for the stuff that you need to make the constructs, or as much of them as we could, and then take this ship with us and go. I think the other option is just leave these people alone because we're worried about the seekers, and then go buy our own, like take our sails and go make our own ship, right? Like that's the other option. The difference is how big of a ship do we want, and like those are the two options for airships. Either we give you some time to make the crew for this one, or we do a different one.
He kind of reminds you that you all only have 3 sails at this moment, and magical sails are not easy to come by. And if you all were to remove the minimum necessary 2 sails, that it may basically mean that you guys are disassembling the operation of the ship, and the crew would be angry about that.
Well, we came with 2 sails. We came with 2 flying sails that are able to levitate, and I'm not even quite sure if we needed the same engine if we used our sails and slapped them onto a normal seagoing vessel. I would leave that to the magic people to figure out, but we could. So in the option to keep this ship, we would keep everything in the ship, including the sails, and add our 2 sails to the ship. Our 2 sails from the ship, and then whatever else we thought we would like, and then leave. If that makes it inoperable, maybe that's a separate question. But I don't think.
I think the ship had 2 sails before. One of them was destroyed, but we have the 2 that you were talking about, right?
Yep.
So that's 3 total. So we can't like take our 2 and leave because the ship would be inoperable.
And all the crew would get upset and try to attack you. Flicker Wisp is like, what if we just trick the crew to get off the ship and then, pull the sails up and zip out of here?
Well, that would immediately bring the Seekers on us, right?
Well, what if we deliver the goods, then we do that?
No, I mean, the goods isn't the only thing. If they know that we are basically taking the ship, they're going to be like, call the cavalry regardless, aren't they?
I'm willing to test it, but only if we can kill the crew.
Look, I mean, I think that's the option, right? We take the crew, have them help us deliver all this stuff to the sensor house. During that time, Flicker, you can stay here, maybe with like one, like the bosun or the part of the crew that you like, people that we don't want to like, that are maybe useful. And then we'll take the crew, we'll get them to deliver the stuff, we'll off the crew, or we'll ditch them, however you want to do it. And then we come back with whatever we got from the sensor house. You finish making modifications to the ship, and then we're off.
That sounds reasonable. Where would we be off to?
Well, Motivir has unfinished business, and I kind of he went to bio, but like I think there's a legitimate question if we want to deal with Motivir's unfinished business to, because he's tried to kill me several times.
You guys could theoretically potentially try to speed run that now that you've been through the whole thing. Modolfir, you said that you kind of feel like you knew how to solve it if you had another chance. Obviously, you sent Varg out at one point, so you are without your beast companion. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a strong pull for you, right, to go back to La Sardat to finish business. Considering you've almost killed and have, gone berserk numerous times on people of this party, you are a potential liability if you don't get it solved.
Hey, just a quick question. We found a berth for airships in Las Sardat, wherever that place was.
Yes.
Did you figure out how that actually gets? Like, is it like a Batcave situation where like there's an illusion? Like, do we know how that gets to the real world?
You did not. Now, you did not study that upper portion of the platform. What you studied was the portal that was below it. And maybe the airship traveled through that portal, but for some reason that portal ended up dumping you guys into that abandoned room on the floating city. So maybe there's a way to control that you guys didn't figure out in the control room. It would make sense since you guys were submerged. Yeah.
Wasn't there also an airship? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Model Fear, if you're back, I think there's probably other airship parts in that area as well. I'm down to go try to fix you and the airship in one go before we do what's next. So I would go sensor house, the whatever Lost Sardot to do his barbarian thing, and then we'll take it from there.
So the part I think that's actually Lost Sardot is, where we were in the area where we had the it was like the mirror version of where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
We had to sacrifice a magic item to have the bridge open long enough to get across it.
Mm-hmm.
But in that area, there was that hole that we came to. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think the facing of my fears or my trial involves having to go in that hole, because that was really the only thing that was in that mirror area.
Yeah.
That we did not explore, but it was further into that cavern system where we went in and discovered that ancient gnomish city where we where that landing platform is. So yeah, it's kind of a 2-in-1 there, but yeah, early into that dungeon is where I need to go for Lost or Not. So
in that landing platform, was there a ship docked there, like just part
no.
of that? Okay.
No. There were just like some abandoned crates, and you did find those crates when you were teleported to that underground room.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if we could just dock the ship there, like just fly in and dock the ship. But if we don't know of a way to do that, then we got to go into that place from the front door.
Yeah, you want like a Blackbird from X-Men situation.
and there's also the fact that there's 2 Elder Brains in there. One of them's caged, but the other one was not.
That's true. All right. So I'm hearing you guys do want to change the answer to Evet Spire to be Lost Sardot after going to the sensor house. And Flickerwisp will disembark with you guys there or not. I'll allow you guys to change multiple. Then just each time it'll have potential repercussions if you change more than one answer.
I mean, hold on. So my understanding is we're going to go to the sensor house first, right?
Yep.
We're going to do whatever we're going to do ship-wise and crew-wise at that point.
Yep.
Then from there, potentially go to Lost Sardot and follow that route. And then from there to whatever the place was for Max's deal there. About
Turngrid.
Turngrid.
Well, okay. So, yeah, you guys could have these both of those stops with Turngrid being the final stop afterwards.
Yeah,
that's
why I was.
If that's the case, we don't even have to go to Turngrid. We could keep going to Evet Spire so that we don't have to change that one, and instead change it so that Flickerwisp does not disembark.
Yeah, where Flickerwisp stays with the ship. Okay.
If we can only change one thing, what do you guys think?
I don't know. There's always unknowns there, right?
Because Turngrid was literally a roll of the dice for me. It wasn't like I didn't think of this is a place, Yeah.
Once you have an airship, I mean, it's just a matter of extra days on the airship. So yeah, you can just as easily get to Evet Spire.
And Fenrir, you mean? Yeah. Okay. You mean by Max's plane? You mean going to Evet Spire?
Yeah.
I don't. Right. If there's going to be negative consequences to changing that, then I would. We don't necessarily have to change it. I think keep Flicker on the ship, go to the sensor house, then go to Lost Sardot, and then wherever that final destination place is, it doesn't matter to me. If it's Evet's Fire, it's Evet's Fire. If it's Turngrig, whatever. I mean, I think we have to get the barbarian thing taken care of, and we're going to keep the airship. Those are the important ones.
So that means we want to keep Flicker Wisp with the ship. So
Yeah.
What we change is the one thing we're going to change is that last word in the second to last paragraph. We're going to change it from disembark into whatever the other option was.
To remain.
Yeah.
How do I get back to the Mad Lib, by the way? I think I closed.
I'll show it again.
It's on the campaign landing page under the notes. Local research. Or no, not local research.
I got it.
I'll just brought it up. Yeah.
There you go.
So the only other thing, like, so Jameson Dell, what is his role? Can he like help Flicker on the ship?
He can certainly help. He has magical capabilities. He's like, yeah, I've been searching for you guys for like 6 weeks, so I'm going to stick around and make sure that we're together. And before I return back, everything is getting better in Terthus, so I think I can stay with you guys for a little bit.
What are your thoughts about changing careers to Sky Sailor?
He's like, it does keep with my whole branding of staying very secretive. I don't hate it.
I mean, Flicker and you will probably be able to work better together to kind of fix the ship and get everything ready. So I'm sure Flicker needs a first mate for the ship.
Yeah, that's quite the dichotomy of personalities, by the way, between Jameson and Flicker. So that's going to be fun.
Yes.
It's going to be like the Odd Couple a little bit. Flicker is Walter Matthau.
Yeah. That's a gift, GM, for in the future.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, great. Jameson's totally on board with this. He's like, I think there's a lot to be learned on this journey, and I'm not so sure the Veladrakes are gone forever. So if this gets us something, if this journey finds us a way to potentially stave that off, I am here for it. And with that, I think we know where we're headed with next session.
Yeah. Also on the journey, like anytime, like I would want Madelfer to detail what we found in that section of Lost or Not to Jameson to see if he has any ideas about.
You're like presenting it as a puzzle to him, like, hey,
yeah.
What would you do in this situation?
Yeah, because we told him you have to basically sacrifice something of magic into the big crystal to let the bridge work.
I'll send that in the out of session.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude. His intelligence is almost as high as Max's. So yeah, I'll see what that does. All right, guys. Yeah, good session. All right, we'll see what happens next time.
All right, everyone.
You got your airship for now. We'll see how long you can keep it. You guys have a good weekend, all right?
All right, you too.
Bye, folks.
Later.
All right, man.